Miami is about to experience one of the biggest moments in its history. In 2026, we're not just hosting the FIFA World Cup, we're welcoming the world to our city, and what happens here over that month could shape Miami for decades to come. In 2026, Miami won't just be another host city, we'll be one of the most visible stages of the biggest sporting event on the planet. Hard Rock Stadium, temporarily known as Miami Stadium, will host 7 World Cup matches, including group games, knockout rounds, a quarterfinal, and the bronze final on July 18th. That means Miami is part of the tournament from the opening weeks all the way to the final weekend. These aren't background matches. These are high-stakes games watched by hundreds of millions around the world. Some of the most followed national teams on earth will play right here: Brazil, Portugal, Uruguay, Colombia, Scotland, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde. Miami has already proven it can host sell-out international matches with clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich. FIFA didn't choose Miami by accident. They chose a city that already lives and breathes global soccer. For over a month, Miami becomes a meeting point for fans from South America, Europe, Africa, and beyond. The energy will be unlike anything the city has seen before. Let's talk numbers, because they matter. Over 1 million visitors are expected across Miami-Dade during the World Cup. Economic projections estimate $1.3 to $1.5 billion in total economic activity, happening mostly in June and July, traditionally Miami's slowest tourism months. For a service-driven city like Miami, where hospitality, food, nightlife, transportation, and entertainment are core industries, that timing is huge. This is like hosting multiple Super Bowls back-to-back, spread across neighborhoods, not just one weekend. What does that mean for locals? It means thousands of jobs in hotels, restaurants, transportation, security, logistics, media, translation services, event staffing, and tourism support. It also creates opportunities for small businesses, food trucks, bars, merch printers, tour operators, pop-ups, and neighborhood spots that know how to show visitors the real Miami. When the city is busy, people work, and when people work, communities benefit. But the World Cup isn't just about visitors and spending. FIFA, the Miami Host Committee, and the U.S. Soccer Foundation are investing in real legacy projects across Miami-Dade. That includes over 50 new mini pitches, youth soccer programs, mentorship initiatives, and after-school activities designed to impact over 30,000 kids. Programs like Just Ball have already reached over 11,000 youth, and Miami will host the first-ever U.S. Youth World Cup with 3,500 teams and 50,000 young players leading up to 2026. This is how a one-month event turns into decades of impact. And it won't just happen inside the stadium. Miami is planning weeks of fan festivals, concerts, cultural events, and watch parties at places like Bayfront Park, Lummis Park, and the Miami Beach Convention Center. Expect packed bars, multilingual crowds on the Metro Rail, flags in Wynwood, celebrations in Little Havana, and Miami Beach turning into a global fan zone. For a month, Miami becomes the unofficial capital of world football. Now, let's be honest. Some people ask whether these big economic numbers actually reach everyday residents. Others worry about traffic, crowding, or public spending. Those are fair questions. And here's the truth. The World Cup will create opportunity, but how much of that opportunity stays local depends on how Miami shows up. Supporting small businesses, protecting workers, and building real legacy projects is what separates a short-term party from long-term progress. The World Cup will bring billions, millions of visitors and global attention. But the real legacy isn't just sold-out stadiums or viral moments. It's stronger communities, thriving local businesses, and kids across Miami having access to fields, mentorship, and opportunity. Miami isn't just hosting a tournament. We're building the city's future. So the real question isn't whether the World Cup will change Miami. It's how intentionally we choose to shape that change.